This is the modern gladius, which quite obviously lives up to its name, translating the historic short sword into a comparatively compact cutting tool for today's users. Virtually all the signature elements of the ancient weapon are referenced here in the modern gladius. Its blade shape mimics the original, albeit in a much smaller size category, as this is a knife, not a sword. There's also a noticeable taper to the main edges as they move out towards the tip. Both blade flats are embellished with a pair of diagonally fullers, and the entire thing has the usual thick tops powder coat on top to keep the 1095 carbon steel rust-free. At this size, the Gladius blade seems calibrated for self-defense, but also comes across as a good choice for an unconventional yet capable outdoors tool. A suggestion that seems reinforced by the fact that the Kydex sheath comes with a dangler carry option. If you need to fight a bear or an insurgent, the full-size 12-inch Tops Knives Apache Down is the knife to choose. Many argue that the sheer strength of fixed blades makes them the best tactical knives for self-defense, and Tops Knives certainly delivers here in strength and durability. Weighing in at just under 1 pound, this knife has the heft, speed, and length needed to be an excellent all-around combat knife. The 6.75-inch blade is long enough to handle many heavy tasks, but it also has a finger choil so the user can choke up for more controlled cutting. It has a nice belly to the tip, which is great for skinning game. As a combat knife, the Apache Dawn excels. With the harpoon-style tip and the thin swedge, the spine pushes the blade down as it enters its target, making a wider cut and providing good penetration. The black G10 handles with Rocky Mountain tread and pronounced finger guard give a solid grip, especially when it's most crucial. The Apache Down also has an outstanding sheath system that provides multiple options for carrying. This one's ruthless. It's a rock-hard steel dagger that's mischievously sharp. With its clip point profile and serrations, it has the characteristics of a great EDC blade turned into a push dagger. The single edge means that it won't be considered a dagger in some jurisdictions. The Grim Reaper's strength as a push dagger goes to the handle. Although it's definitely a T-back style, there's a ledge for your thumb to prevent the knife from yawing in CQB. But it also lends support and control when using it in an EDC roll. The Kydex sheath is extremely well made and keeps it secure on your person. Large enough for battle, but deceptively light, the Tops Knives Express was designed as a fighter, not as a utility knife. The Express is an asymmetrical dagger with a sharp stabbing point and good cutting edges, both essential features on a self-defense knife. Available in both double-edge and single-edge versions, it has a 5.63-inch full-tang spear point blade with a flat saber-ground 5.25-inch plain cutting edge. Finally, there's the steel, which is, to nobody's surprise, 1095, the hard-working carbon steel that Tops have favored for years. It may be old school, but 1095 is an excellent, well-proven knife steel. It's reasonably tough, holds a good edge, and is easy to resharpen. The drawback to this type of steel is that it rusts fairly easily. For this reason, Tops went with black Cerakote coating on the Express. It provides excellent corrosion resistance and lubricity, as well as high chemical resistance. The ergonomic handle ensures proper grip retention in both saber and reverse grig. It also features a striking pommel with lanyard hole that can be employed for less lethal strikes. And Tops being Tops, they've included a Kydex sheath with the Express, which does its job regardless of exterior conditions. This blade oddly satisfies my sword fantasy, with its striking resemblance to the Greek Kappa sword. Weighing in at 31.2 ounces, the Top Knives Lilith feels heavy and features a slight inward curve. At 14 inches, the 1095 high-carbon steel blade is efficient and reduces the effort you need to finish the job. This thing is an eater of weeds, palmettos, and saplings, chewing through without remorse. The handle has the right amount of thickness and heft and is well contoured to make it very comfortable to wield. Because the handle tapers toward the pommel as you would expect to see with throwing knife designs, there's a finger ring that's chamfered to aid in retention. The full-tang construction ensures durability and stability, making it capable of withstanding substantial abuse. This is the blade you take with you to the jungle to clear away miles of unsuspecting brush and vine. Sometimes you buy an outdoor survival knife because it outperforms everything else. Sometimes you buy because it's just so cool. That's the case with the Tops Brothers of Bushcraft, a knife that's heavier and thicker than an SE4 and about twice as expensive. Man, do we love it. Apart from the fact that it looks incredible, what makes this knife so much fun to use is how well it can be used for chopping and batoning. The Scandi grind bites through the wood as if it was nothing, while the thickness of the blade and the heavy weight easily split small logs and branches. This is the definition of a beater knife, a tool that's made to take all the abuse you can throw at it and simply shrug it off. The heavy weight for its size can make it a little uncomfortable to carry on your belt for long periods of time, which is why the BOB comes with a modular Kydex sheath that can also be carried horizontally, scout style, to better balance the weight. Its size will also affect how long you'll be able to use it for bushcraft before it starts to tire you out. It's also really expensive, costing $285. In that price range, there are definitely other alternatives you could find that perform just as well, have better steel than the BOB's 1095, and weigh less. Still, we struggle to think of a knife that's so much fun to use around camp. Even when considering its drawbacks, the Tops BOB is an extremely efficient survival knife that's just too awesome to skip. Tops Knives has roots in the military community, and this knife is as prepared for anything as a Special Forces soldier. On the surface, the Tops Kuma Takri looks like any other large survival knife, but there are lots of little details that make it incredibly versatile and effective in the field, such as dual spindle sockets for making a bow drill for starting a fire. There's also a small pry for scraping and lanyard hole at the butt of the handle. Another smart feature on the blade is a partial back edge for reverse swings. This secondary edge will naturally see less frequent use than the primary edge, and thus can serve as a backup sharp edge if the main edge becomes dulled and field sharpening isn't feasible. This is a sturdy survival knife with a substantial 7-inch blade. Everything about it looks like it'll stand up to some serious use, and it does. Its full-tang frame is built out of 1095 high-carbon steel with a thin strip of black linen micarta handle for weight reduction. The belly of the blade is deep for chopping firewood and shelter building. The blade also features what the designer calls shark tooth serrations for blocking, ripping, and tearing bush, cord, or anything that gets in its way. For a powerhouse like this, there's really not much more I could ask for. Maybe S35VN or even just Nitro V version would be icing on the cake. This knife looks intimidating, with a bite to back up its bark. Not quite a Bowie knife, but a real workhorse that's best for folks with larger hands. The Top Silent Hero is a hefty thing, but some of that weight leans into making it more useful, especially if you have some branch chopping to do. The overall durability of this knife is impressive, but the balance of the knife is really what makes it stand out. It's just a little bit blade heavy, which helps it generate a lot of power on a swing and even makes batoning feel a little easier. The blade is 1095 high carbon and coated with an attractive black river wash finish. The choil is finger-holed, which is perfect for when you need to choke up on the knife and maintain a controlled cut. The handle's black linen micarta reinforced with 3 screw rivets. It's durable and provides a fantastic grip. There's a lanyard hole in the handle along with another in the finger guard. This is meant to allow the user to add a safety cord in order to improve the grip on the handle, which already allows for a solid grip. The black leather sheath is durable and looks great paired with this knife.